My name's Doug Hayes. I'm the second brother of the Hayes families, the middle child, and I'm 2.5 years behind Jim. Jim was my protector when I grew up, even though I'm not sure he really wanted to protect me on certain occasions. There are so many things that Jim was good at. Everyone knows about basketball and bowling and golf, and there wasn't anything that he couldn't put his hands on and succeed at as far as athletics were concerned, as far as I knew. But as good as he was at all that, I think, he's far superior at just being a good friend, brother, son, or husband. He was a loyal friend and go to bat for the people and the town that he loved. There were times when I would be gone from Barstow and I'd mention, Barstow in a disparaging manner, and Jim would be quick to correct that and say, well, Barstow's a great town. I love it here. There wasn't anything that he wouldn't do for someone he cared about, and that was one of his many amazing qualities, and I've seen him do it over and over and over again. I know for a fact that he's helped people that were in varying degrees of difficulty with the law, and not that Jim would condone what they do, but Jim would be there with them and go and visit former classmates in jail, or sit with them when they had a hard time or something like this, when everybody else would desert them. That's the real test of a friend. A real test of a friend is somebody that, when the chips are down, who shows up? Jim was always there. And he was always there for everybody, especially around, whether it was family or it was friends or anything else. Jim would be the first one there, put his arm around you and tell you that, hey, you're worth to me, and I still want you to succeed. And I think that's one of the great things about Jim is, he always was a friend to everybody. He also loved to see people succeed, and whether they were down on their luck or not, oh yeah, he'd make fun of them. He'd make fun of everybody, including himself, but he really, truly wanted to see Barstow and everybody in it succeed. He truly admired a great peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Jim wasn't one for high-class foods or anything else like this, or a good bologna sandwich for that matter. And every time I would make him one when he was sick, he would just rave about it and say, oh, that's the best bologna sandwich I've ever had. Best bologna sandwich. And as soon as he would leave, I'd be on the phone with him the next week, and he'd tell me how much better Peggy's bologna sandwiches were. And I always used to argue with him. I said, I think that's the way you just get people to make you bologna sandwiches. I'm also going to miss, how his eyes lit up, when he got serious about needing to give you good advice. That's one of the things Jim was very intense about, getting to know the people and giving them his best. And his best was usually stuff that you should have listened to. Those who know him know my brother would always stand up for his family and his friends and his town, no matter what. He wasn't selfish. He looked out for us and for Barstow, and we loved him more for it. Jim always knew how to make us feel like he cared, even when no one else seemed to. He always was out there livening up a room with his quick wit and a great sense of humor. You felt privileged to be in a room with him. I was a huge fan. He was my hero as far as basketball was concerned. I used to look up to him and go up at the stands and chant Homer with the rest of them, even though Jim hated being called Homer. He hated it. And I think that's probably why I chanted it a lot louder, is because, I wanted to annoy my brother even more. So, when he married Peggy, that was, we were all happy for him. And, it seemed like Jim was going to get a chance to do and be what he wanted. And then, of course, we had the problems with my mother and my father, and Jim was instrumental in taking care of both of them. And once Dad left, I figured now is Jim's turn to relax and continue to pursue what he wanted. Why would someone not give him the time, that he should have been allowed, and to continue to be a beacon, the way he was for many of us. There are no answers to these questions, except, just keep appreciating those people that are around you, because You don't know when they might be gone. It might be in the next instant, just like Jim was. My brother was a very patriotic man, smart, athletic, kind, giving, and special to everyone here. I know we all have great memories of him. Times he made us laugh or helped us. I think these are the best things to remember about him. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out to celebrate Jim's life. Thanks for watching me. I wish I could have been there, and hope to see you all down the road somewhere, and still know that you're my friends. And just have a good time. Enjoy yourself.